So we're fast approaching Christmas, so what am I going to do? Well, from now to the end of the year, it's all going to be about Christmas, and it's all going to be Christmas films, and I am wearing the only piece of Christmas anything that I own, so I'm going to be wearing this jumper for the next few weeks. But let's crack on with the first video. Christmas Chronicles is a 2018 Christmas comedy film directed by Clay Kaytis from a screenplay written by Matt Lieberman. The film stars Kurt Russell as the titular Santa Claus, and it tells the story of two children, Kate and Teddy, who actually go looking for Santa Claus on Christmas Day. But when their mishaps actually cause an accident which can cause the end of Christmas as you know it, they have to team up with Santa Claus to actually save Christmas. When the film came out, it only came out on Netflix, so a lot of reviewers tended to bypass it, but overall it was mostly well received, but because I'm me, there are things wrong with it, and I'm going to talk about 10 things wrong with the Christmas Chronicles. Number 10, Kitty's age. So the beginning of this film is actually told via a flashback through VCR footage. Now Kitty makes her first appearance in the Christmas video from 2007. And the film is set in 2018, which would make Kitty 11 years old. Yet, throughout the entire film, they keep calling her 10. Nope, she's 11. She was at Christmas 2007, this is Christmas 2018. That's 11 years. She was 11 years old. Big boo-boo, we've only just started on this video. Number 9, bad parenting. Now, as a father of myself, I know how much of a pain children can be. So when I walk into a room and two of my children are fighting, I want to know what the hell's been going on. I would also get very suspicious when one of them is standing there with her hand behind her back. Yet the whole time that their mum was asking questions, she didn't ask once about what was behind her back. I would have. It's like, hey, what's behind your back? I would have asked the question, but she didn't. She didn't notice. She just wanted peace and quiet and her children to get on and didn't actually really care. Number 8, 10-year-old videos. This film starts off when Kitty's actually going through some of her old videos and she notices a hand who she believes is Santa Claus coming into frame. Now, you telling me that nobody had actually watched that footage in 10 years? Now, I actually watch, when I do these videos, I watch them frame by frame by frame, but that's because I'm editing them. Lots of other videos that I go back and watch again and again, and I still see mistakes or things I shouldn't have picked up. But 10 years before anyone noticed that, I find that very hard to believe. What, they just film and never watch these videos ever again? I don't believe it. Number 7, candy cane. Quite a few times throughout this film, they actually turn around and say, give the reindeer some candy cane, they love candy cane. Well, yes, that is actually true, but you shouldn't actually give reindeer candy cane. Now, they love it because of the sugar content. Same as we love it because of the sugar content, let's face it. But unfortunately, reindeer stomachs cannot handle it. So basically, you are just going to make these reindeers poorly. And this film's actually making a big deal. Give the reindeer candy cane. Give the reindeer candy cane. No, don't. You're actually just going to make them ill and poorly. Don't give reindeer candy canes. Number 6, elves. Yeah, something about these elves in this film did not look like elves. They were a cross between trolls and gnomes to me. They didn't look, they were cute and furry, but I don't see elves cute and furry. Elves are little versions of us with pointed ears like Vulcans. That's what elves look like. And yeah, I don't get it. Why did you make them all furry? Probably can make the animator's job a lot more harder creating those CGI elves. Make them just little people. Number 5, no street smarts. So for the rest of this video, all I'm going to talk about is Santa. Not Kurt Russell's performance, because let's face it, his performance is brilliant, but some of the things that Santa Claus does, not that good. Let's face it, the first one, street smarts. He has none. He walks into a bar saying, yeah, I've just picked these two children up. Who wants to help me take them somewhere else? Now, the police would have been called, let's face it. That is just dodgy as hell. Quite a lot of the time, a lot of the situations he gets himself into is because he doesn't actually understand how the real world really works. Yeah, You don't just walk up to a stranger and say, hey, so-and-so, I knew you when you were a kid, help, give me some money. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Number 4, encouraging underage driving. A few times throughout this film, they do talk about Teddy's misdemeanors and what he's been getting up to and why he's actually supposedly on the naughty list. And one of them is because of him, stealing cars. Something that Santa turned a blind eye to when it suited him, and then a bit later on, he actually encourages Teddy to break the law in a stolen car. Sorry, borrowed car. Yeah, you're encouraging underage driving, you are encouraging his misdemeanor, naughty behaviour. You're not really setting a good example if you're Santa Claus. Number 3, letting a child alone in Chicago. I'm not actually American, so I don't know what Chicago is really like in real life. Now, if I follow the media, it's not supposed to be a nice place. It's supposed to be quite a rough and dangerous place. If I'm wrong, blame the media. But still, you still would not let a 10-year-old little girl, 11-year-old little girl, walk through Chicago on her own. Yet Santa says that and says she'll be fine. I still wouldn't let a little girl who's 10, 11, that age, walk around any city. Even in the UK, I would not let her walk around at night on her own. Would you? Number 2, Sleigh. This one's actually been picked up by my girlfriend's daughter. Why does he actually need a sleigh when he uses magic to go from house to house to house to house? And he carries the bag around with him. So what's the sleigh actually for? You don't really need it. He literally he goes from house to house on the rooftops using his magic powers. He doesn't need the sleigh. It doesn't really make sense. Other versions he needs the sleigh, but this one he's too powerful, too magical, doesn't need it. Number 1, Santa's a con man. Yep, I'm being serious. When you watch this film, this whole thing turns out because Santa cons the children to actually go on this adventure, to try and although he had a good reason, it's to make the family put back together again. But you're making Santa the most righteous, good person on the entire planet. The person who judges whether we're naughty or nice, and he's lying to everybody. He's no different. He's just a stereotypical con man. That's it. That's not an image of Santa Claus that I actually want. I want Santa Claus to be, good, morally above approach, untouchable. Yet this film, he's not that good. He is a con man. End of. Final thoughts. So generally I do stay away from Netflix only films, but I had to do this one because we've got a sequel just about to come out, or come out by the time this video comes out. But 2, it is a Christmas film, and strangely enough, it is actually a good Christmas film. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, and it gets the heart and soul of Christmas, trying to bring the family back together. And in this time of year, and with what's been going on in the real world, this type of film is exactly what we need. We need something to tell us, keep your family close. Your family is the most important thing. And this film does that perfectly. One of the reasons why it's so good is also Kurt Russell's performance. When you watch this film, you don't actually get the sense that he's acting. You get the sense he's actually having fun. And it shows, and it's infectious, and you cannot help to laugh and love this film. It's really enjoyable, bar the few mishaps that I've spoken about throughout this video. And coming to the end of this film, when they were actually showing Mrs. Claus, originally they just showed you the back of her. And when I first watched this, I was thinking, please be Goldie Hawn, because that would just be funny. And she turns around and it's Goldie Hawn. And that was a nice little touch. Now, it is because it was her son's film, so it was quite easy to get those two together. And to my knowledge, I think this is the first time they've had an on-screen appearance together, and they're both in the sequel as well. But yeah, this film is perfect for this time of year, so I'm quite happy about it. The music was okay for its time. Kurt Russell having a rock jazz song was brilliant, and it was okay for a cheap, low-budget Netflix-only film. It does its job, and it entertains, and it's a good family film to all get round and get together. The visuals were mediocre, but they were passable, so I'm not going to say they were appalling. And yeah, I can't really say much wrong with this film. I don't like the portrayal of Santa Claus. I don't like some of the things and all the lies he actually said, but his performance was good. So let's get on with the rankings. What am I going to rank it? Overall, it's a good, enjoyable film, so I'm actually going to give this an 8. 8 out of 10 berries. That's my recommendations, but I would like to know, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you would rank it out of 10. And also, have you actually seen this film? What do you think? So, on to next week, we're going to carry on. We're going to have another Christmas film. There's thousands out there, and I'll probably keep doing this every December for the next few years when I'm picking random Christmas songs. So I'm not even going to give a clue, because my comments will be just full of guesses. So I will see you next Sunday. But in the meantime, if you want to get in touch with me, please look me up on social media. Just search for @Berryman81. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, you name it, I'm there. And I will look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.